Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we're talking about one of the worst left-wing news sites out there, Vox.com. Their shitty videos and shoddy reporting have been destroying our country for years now. Long before we had President Trump, Vox was kissing Obama's ass, real nice, and putting out other democratic, liberal propaganda pieces constantly. Recently, Vox even went off on a number of YouTubers, saying everyone was alt-right over and over again, like a crazy person. They even said Lacey Green was alt-right, of all people. What a bunch of idiots. And what's so bad about being alt-right anyway? I mean, I'm not one of them. I never have been alt-right, but I really don't see how this group can be slandered to such a degree. Not to defend them too much here, but Vox clearly says someone's alt-right as if they're a literal 1930s Nazi or some kind of convicted murderer or something, an abuser. But where's the backup for that, guys? What are the bad things the alt-right has done lately? I mean, I'm not saying they're necessarily good either, but you just can't continue to call them this based on nothing. Calling them this evil alt-right term as if they're undeniably evil, like say the orcs of Mordor. I know Vox wants us to think alt-righters are zombies from Dawn of the Dead or something, but I'm going to say they're still humans worthy of at least a basic level of respect until proven otherwise. And not to digress too much here and get too far away from today's story, but on the flip side of this, Vox has actually defended radicals in the past, left-wing ones. Antifa are the ones who are going out wearing masks and forming mobs and rioting in the streets lately. Antifa has also committed crimes that are easily provable, and they've done nothing but bad things for our society too. But guess what? Vox defends Antifa constantly. In fact, I did a whole video about it before, if you want to catch up, but just knowing this makes their radical hatred and unsupported accusation against the alt-right recently that much more stupid. But let's not get too sidetracked with that rabbit hole. Vox has done enough dumb shit to fill the Gulf of Mexico, but today we're going to go over a particularly funny older video of theirs from early 2016. It's called Donald Trump's Rise is a Scary Moment in America, and it's starring Vox's beta editor-in-chief himself, Ezra Klein. Echoes. Look at him. Doesn't he just scream soy boy too? And he's about to tell us why he's so afraid of the dominant and up-and-coming alpha, Donald J. Trump. Yeah, this Vox video is from early 2016, like February, before Trump even won the Republican primary. I know it's a bit old, but I thought it would actually be funny to go over it now, 2 years later. In honor of the end of the year, we can see if Vox was right about this before. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and check this thing out.
Donald Trump, you have to admit it, is fun to watch.
Is this a Donald Trump reality show with non-supporting actors?
We look fantastic.
Donald Trump turns this from a circus into a full-fledged reality show.
And I mean really fantastic.
And he's putting on the greatest show we've ever seen in a presidential election by far. He's red-faced, he's angry.
He is awesome, and I'll admit it, Vox is right here so far. Even though they're trying to present this in a mocking, condescending way, Trump's personality still speaks for itself in these clips. Even in just the few short scenes you see here, we can see our president can be fun and jovial, and even hilarious if need be. So I really don't see the downside so far, but let's see where Vox goes from here.
He's real in that way that only reality television stars are real.
Trump's so racist!
He's so fun to watch that it's easy to lose sight of how terrifying his rise really is. But Donald Trump is the most dangerous major presidential candidate in memory.
Damn, dude. Looks like this Ezra guy might be literally shaking. Get a grip, buddy. You're a grown-ass man. And Trump isn't that scary. What the heck? You may disagree with the guy politically, but to ramp that up into genuine fear is a bit much. I really can't tell if this guy is actually that beta and afraid. Or maybe he's just fear-mongering for attention. Probably a bit of both. I mean, I disagreed with Hillary probably just as much. I really didn't want her as president, but I would never say I was scared like a child. Really goes to show how much things were ramping up politically back in 2016. And it's also funny seeing liberals like this who are still thinking Hillary had a chance back then.
Trump is a serious contender to win the Republican presidential nomination. If he wins the Republican presidential nomination, he may win the general election. He's a man who could be deciding the next Supreme Court nomination, be making decisions of war and peace, be deciding which regulations to enforce and which to let go of.
Well, buddy, I hate to break the news to you, but Donald Trump did win that primary, and he won the election and became president of the United States, the greatest country on earth. President Trump even appointed 2 Supreme Court justices, as this video predicted, and guess what? Nothing bad has happened. In fact, I would say our country is far better off after just 2 years of Trump in office. Can't wait to see what happens next, with 6 more to come.
Presidents represent America on trade negotiations. They represent us before the community of nations. This is not political entertainment. It's not entertainment at all, it's real live politics. Trump's background in politics has been scary and it's been extreme.
I wouldn't call criticism of the previous president extreme. Sure, some people like to throw out this birther stuff to make the accusers look crazy in hindsight, but back in 2011, there were some legitimate discrepancies with Obama's birth certificate. And knowing what we know now about how the left has treated Trump as president, I don't think that birther stuff was half as bad for Obama. Trump has had a bogus investigation being done about him ever since he won the election, and there's still not a shred of proof of any wrongdoing about the Russia collusion nonsense. But yeah, having a legitimate concern that our previous president was born in Kenya and could be married to a transgender, by the way, yeah, somehow that's worse and uncalled for. What a bunch of hypocrites Vox and the mainstream media are.
He climbed to the top of the polls in this election by calling Mexicans rapists and killers.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
Well, that's pretty goddamn dishonest there, Vox. Trump was not calling Mexicans rapists and killers. He wasn't using that kind of blanket statement at all. I know this Ezra guy tries to breeze through this, clipping Trump out of context and moving on before viewers can think twice, but luckily I can pause this asshole here and tell you why he's wrong. Trump was saying the illegal invaders who are crossing our borders illegally, they are bringing in rapists and killers. And that's certainly true. Illegals enter the United States and commit crimes like this every day. Is Vox going to really pretend there aren't evil criminals like this coming over the border from Mexico? Because there are, and they're much more scary than a presidential candidate you don't like. And Trump is the president who is trying to stop this illegal, actually scary stuff too. But ironically enough, Vox calls him scary, the man who is trying to stop the actually scary stuff. You really can't make this kind of bullshit up.
He defended a poor debate performance by accusing Megyn Kelly of being on her period.
You could see there was blood coming out of her eyes. Blood coming out of her wherever.
Yeah, he called out Megyn Kelly for a reason. I don't know if you know this, Fox, but Megyn is kind of a diva, and she was certainly being biased and unfair to Trump in that debate she hosted, so he called her out on it. And now we're supposed to believe Kelly is this innocent angel that was attacked for no reason? Please. Trump attacked Kelly after she had been slamming him on TV every night for months.
When MSNBC's Joe Scarborough asked Trump about his affection for Vladimir Putin, Trump replied,
"He's running his country, and at least he's a leader, you know, unlike what we have in this country."
I don't see the problem here. Trump is saying Putin is a strong leader, and he is. And then he's bashing Obama at the end there. Nice. But it feels like Vox is operating under another one of their liberal assumptions again. This time it's the one where they assume Russia is bad. And this makes Trump's comments about Putin and Russia bad, for some reason. And again, I'm not here to defend Russia per se. They have done lots of bad and dumb shit in the past, but I really can't stand Vox breezing over things like this. Why do you guys think Russia is bad? What has Putin done that's so evil? I've heard some stories and rumors myself, but I'm not the one presenting this anti-Russia argument like Vox. Vox and other liberals should have to tell us why connections with Russia are so bad before they go on and on about this stuff. I mean, they're the ones bringing this up. And of course I remember the Cold War era, but that ended 20 years ago. So I'm going to need a bit more than anti-Russia and anti-communist nostalgia to follow the liberals with this one.
Trump later had to clarify.
By the way, I hate some of these people, but I'd never kill them.
That is usually not something in American politics presidential candidates need to clarify.
No, I wouldn't.
This liberal douche from Vox is totally missing the point. Trump is joking. He has what people might call a sense of humor, and he's also a great speaker, unlike this meek and mousy Ezra Klein guy from Vox, who just has a creepy and sad vibe to him. I don't know. He talks like he's a giant baby or something. Grow up, dude.
Trump is a racist, and he's a sexist, and he's a demagogue. But he's also a narcissist and a bully and
You're a tough guy,
a
Joe.
dilettante.
Is that all you got, Vox? So let me get this straight. Without any proof or evidence, you want us to believe you when you say President Donald J. Trump is a racist, a sexist, a demagogue, whatever that means, and also he's a narcissist, a bully, and a dilettante, whatever that means. Well, man, Vox, you really think people take your word on everything? And also, you're really just going to stop there? Why not go on and say Trump is a misogynist? He's transphobic and problematic too. He's also arrogant, rude, insulting, and he smells bad. Let's keep going then. Let's say Trump's Islamophobic. He's anti-gay and he's a bigot too. Or as Dr. Seuss might say, you're a mean one, Mr. Trump. You're really a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel. Mr. Trump, you're a bad banana with a greasy black peel. You're a monster, Mr. Trump. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You've got garlic in your soul. Mr. Trump, I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. Something like that. I could go all day, but I think you get the point. Really, it's starting to seem like Vox and Ezra are scared of Trump though, but it's not for the laundry list of reasons they put together here. here. No, their crackpot writing team reverse engineered that list after already being scared of Trump in the first place. This is just Vox fear-mongering to try and get more people scared of Trump too. But to find the real reason why liberals are scared of Trump, you can't listen to their words. You gotta read between the lines and realize they just don't like him because of his politics, and they don't want to lose power. Liberals don't want Republicans in power, so they vilify their enemies and try and pretend they're scary and dangerous when really they're not. In my opinion, Trump is a godsend for this country, clearly, and that's the opposite of scary. Everything has gotten better since Trump came into office. The country is better, the economy is booming, unemployment is down, and our national security is up. ISIS is gone, thank God, and the borders are getting better slowly. The US is better across the board since 2016, so I would easily say Vox was wrong to be scared of Trump. Sure, it might still seem scary for them and other weak-willed liberals, but it's not a real life or death kind of scary. It's more like a hysterical child who is scared and angry because they can't stand not getting their way.
Trump has just a complete lack of shame. Most people feel shame when they're exposed as liars, or when they're seen as uninformed and cruel, or when their political elders think that what they're doing is wrong or dumb. It's one way we keep politicians in check. We exploit their sense of shame. But Trump doesn't seem to have this.
That's a good thing, dude. Trump has no shame because he has nothing to be shameful for. All of these accusations and attacks are clearly baseless. Even this Vox video right here. They've had 3.5 minutes to prove Trump is scary or racist or something, but they just can't do it. The only people really scared of him are liberals, who don't want to lose their political power. Really, what Ezra is complaining about here is he wants Trump to fall in line and be PC, politically correct like everyone else. Trump refuses though, and that's part of the reason his supporters, like myself, that's why we love him. We don't prefer to be lied to, like how Fox does. They act like being PC and showing shame when you get caught is a good thing, but really, those supposedly shamed politicians don't care. They're only feigning shame because they got caught. They're virtue signaling to try and get back in the public's good graces. In fact, the only difference between Trump and other politicians is Trump is being straightforward and out in the open about his strategy and motives, while other failed old school liberals are still trying to lie and deceive people like they're trained actors.
He's got that reality television star's talent for not caring what he seems like on camera.
I'm not here to make friends.
I'm not here to make friends.
We're not looking to make new friends.
The rest of us, we're all worried about making friends. We want to be seen as polite and gentle and kind.
Speak for yourself, gay boy. I want to seem strong, confident, and dominant, like the president. Only weak-willed loser liberals like Ezra want to seem like nice guys. Nice guys in public, at least, and then they turn out to be total assholes and bigots privately. This goes back to the classic politically correct liberal way. They like to lie to your face and cheat you behind your back. President Trump doesn't do that though, thankfully, but it seems like Vox wishes he would for some weird reason. I don't know. I don't think they really care what Trump does though. He could cure cancer tomorrow and liberals would still complain and say Trump did it the wrong way. In the end, Vox was clearly wrong about Trump. Not only did they not provide any legitimate evidence for their claims that they made 2 years ago, but also there has been no reason to be scared of Trump since then either. Quite the opposite actually. So with all that said, I'm not surprised this Vox video has 18,000 dislikes now, because it's clearly full of shit. What do you guys think? Was Vox wrong about Trump? Is Trump scary? And do you think there's any proof that Trump has done anything racist or sexist at all, ever? Because I really don't. Comment your thoughts on everything below, and thanks for watching No Bullshit. It's been a great 2018, and I can't wait to see you guys soon next year. Until then, we'll see y'all next time.